Hello, Sandman Nation, and Happy New Year. Well, for the first time since we started this podcast way back in August of 2024, we took a week off around the holidays. And while it was very nice to have the break, boys, I got to admit, I missed you both. Well, at least you, Bill. And I am so freaking excited to be back for episode 72. So let's get into it because it is time to enter Sandman Sports. Just kidding, Pat. So nice to see you as well, my friend. I hope your guys' 2026 has gotten off to a great start. I want to hear all about your holiday breaks, but we're going to do that in just a minute because first we have to get into the random questions of the day. Pat, it is your turn to go first.
Sweet.
Aren't you excited?
Love
you
it.
get the first super weird question of the year.
Like it.
Okay.
Is it about
All
my
right.
dating history?
No,
Good.
it is not.
Is it about
It is
helmets?
not, dude. No. All right, guys. So I cannot believe we're now into 2026. And that means the last moment from the decade of the 1980s was more than 36 years ago. We are closer to being 4 decades away than we are 3 from the 1980s, which is crazy to me and makes me feel very old. So here's your question, Pat.
Mhm.
There was a lot of great stuff from that decade, but there was also a lot of terrible stuff that would make my kids most likely say, what the frick? So, Pat, I want to know, we'll come back, we'll give you a minute, but we'll come back. What is one thing from the 1980s that you are so thankful for that no longer exists?
Mhm.
Something from the 1980s, you're happy, no longer exists in our world today. Okay, Bill,
All right.
I have been excited to ask you this question for days.
Oh.
Okay, here you go. For 1 year, would you rather have to hunt and gather all of your food or eat McDonald's for every meal?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've seen Super Size Me. That you guys saw that documentary.
Yeah.
I couldn't
That
do
almost-
McDonald's.
It
I
almost
haven't
killed
eaten
the
at
guy.
McDonald's
Like after
in
30, I know you haven't. You ate there with me when
with
we
Cooper.
stopped with Cooper.
Yep.
What, almost 2 years ago now? And you had
Yep.
said at the time that was the first time you'd eaten there forever.
Yeah, and I've eaten their breakfast, so I can't. It's not as like a total zero on McDonald's, but not a cheeseburger or a Big Mac or anything like that. And it's got to be 30 years almost. I bet.
Could you imagine having to eat there?
No.
I mean, that guy almost died after 30 days.
Yeah. Plus,
And
I could
eating-
I'd have
stand losing
spicy
30
Miss
pounds.
Krispies
So
for about a week, and then I wouldn't know where to go from there.
yeah, right. You'd be good. Like the first few days, you'd
Yeah.
probably be like, yeah, all right,
I can
this is
do
not
this.
so bad.
But
And
I
then-
also don't think you realize how difficult it is to hunt and gather.
No. No, I mean, I would starve to
Yeah.
death.
Snare
But
traps.
that's
Bill trying to set up
Yeah.
snare traps.
I would starve to death. But
That would
starving
be
to death would be better
fantastic,
than
dude.
eating at McDonald's every day.
Well, that I mean,
think that's
yeah.
as painful as that probably
I
is,
mean-
that experience. Plus,
I don't know
I
if
was
you'd
a pretty
starve to
good
death.
fisherman
You
back
could
in the day.
rummage some
I don't know.
like, yeah, you could.
Oh, yeah, you could fish.
I've
I
never
didn't think
shot
about
an
that.
animal
Yeah.
in my life.
Same.
Yeah. So I'm
My
not a
problem would be
hunter.
I'd have to learn
Except for humans.
like how to clean that shit. Like I can fish. I could learn to hunt if I had to, but you can't just like kill the animal and then eat it. You gotta freaking clean it,
You
right?
gotta
Or you're
dress
gonna
it,
die.
yeah.
I have no idea how to do that, dude.
Oh, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go. All
Yeah.
right. I think that's the right answer, Bill.
All
Good
right,
job.
thanks. Yeah,
All right,
thank you.
Pat. So what are we happy no longer exists from that?
I don't know. I loved the
Decade.
80s, first of all. So this is a tough one. But
Yeah,
for me, I was thinking
I know. It's
neon, like all the neon colors.
Oh,
And
yeah,
think of
yeah.
Seattle Seahawks color rush uniforms, like, but
Yeah,
all over
the
the
worst.
place. And cuff
The worst.
jeans. Cuff jeans.
dude, cuff
Pegged.
jeans is literally
Which I was
what
guilty
thought
of, which I did.
No,
but it's-
we all were,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
No, I honestly I did. I thought of cuff jeans and like wasn't like parachute pants a thing too
Oh,
in the 80s?
Yeah.
Was that 80s or was that 90s? Like MC
I don't
Hammer?
know.
Yeah.
It was right around the turn. You might be right. You
Yeah.
might be right.
But the
Yeah,
80s
that's
were
a good-
awesome.
that's a good
I mean, the
answer.
80s is when life was perfect.
Well, guys, we are not stuck in the 80s, but we eat well-balanced meals, guys. And we have one hell of a great sports website. We hope everyone will check out daily@cmansports.com. We publish new articles every day. We have a ton of football coverage right now, but as the NFL and college football seasons wind down, more and more basketball is going to start. We also just started publishing. I am really excited about this, guys. We just started posting a lot more NHL content. We've got several articles out there, which I think is really cool. I've enjoyed seeing that. Dan Angel, one of our pro sports writers, have done a great job with that. And we've gotten really good feedback on that. Golf starts soon, so we'll have more coverage there. Bill, are you going to start writing your
Yep. Crush and fade.
Crush and fade,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Crush and fade will be back.
Of course, we have this podcast. We also have the St. Louis Syndicate, who I think is going to probably be winding down here for the offseason. They may still have some sporadic episodes after the Super Bowl, but they typically take the offseason off. But, guys, exciting news. I want to announce we recently started a new podcast with two of our baseball writers, Charlie Mathis and Charlie Butler. It's called Curves, Chalk, and Chucks. And they have published 2 episodes so far. They talk all MLB, hot stove right now, breaking down all the offseason news. They will continue that into spring training and into the season. I streamed both of the apps while on my recent cruise. Good stuff. So be sure to check it out. I think they'll be publishing those probably weekly is their plan as well. Of course, please also be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Okay, guys, let's get into the opening. In a minute, we're going to get in. Got a lot of awesome college football action to talk about. The CFP quarterfinal games. I want to get your reaction on that. We're going to look ahead to Thursday and Friday semifinals. But before we get into all of that, I want to talk about your holidays, guys. Haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Pat, haven't seen you in 3 weeks now.
It's been a long time.
So just want to hear, how did you guys do anything fun? Go anywhere? Anything memorable? How was New Year's Eve? So, Pat, start us off, sir. Tell us all about it.
It was a good break. Did a little ski trip and then back home to celebrate with my family before it was off to Florida for some beach time with my wife's family. And it's good living all around.
Living it up, man.
Ate a lot of
oysters. I mean, you go on the slopes and then you go to the beach.
Yeah.
That's like freaking nice.
It's pretty nice. Ate a lot of oysters, some nice beach walks, some swimming, got to spend some time with my nephews and niece. And but my college football picks in general have been awful. And I've been struggling to stay up late enough, especially when we were over in Florida on the East Coast. It's a struggle to stay up that late and finish these games.
Yeah.
I'm getting older. I didn't even make it to midnight on New Year's.
Yeah.
I don't even think I made it to 11.
Before, was there snow out west?
No.
I know you were nervous about.
Not really. It was packed. It was kind of bad, but it was still nice to be out there. We, quality time with the fans.
Where'd you go? What slopes?
We went to Beaver Creek, so I did Beaver Creek and Vail, and then Beaver Creek on the third day. So, because we have the pass, and so I took my son the first day, took my daughter the second day. It was pretty good. And then my son and I tried snowboarding.
Dude.
We tried snowboarding on the last day.
Oh, how'd that go?
That was good for me. It was good for me. I'm an elite athlete, but my son spent most of the time on his butt. Yeah. So.
And where'd you go in Florida?
Siesta Key. Yeah, so we got a little VRBO off the beach, a couple blocks, and so it was just a nice, easy walk to the beach, and it was all the families there. It was, I'm living
all that freaking painting. Screw you money.
I was thinking the same thing.
It is. It's like feast or famine for me. I'm either working my butt off or wearing sweatpants
at the
all
beach on the slopes.
So,
well, good, man. We missed you, but glad you got a few weeks off.
It's good to be back. And a great job in the pod when I was gone. You guys did a great job.
Oh, thanks, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was
Brandon
fun.
Lewis,
the Christmas episode's
always a heavy hitter.
Dude, he is such a good sub, man. We love having him.
Best hair in podcasting.
That's so nice.
He does have the best hair in podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he does, man. I heard he's crushing in Ben Harper too.
Oh,
always,
dude. The guy's looking for his third Ben Harper win.
Good Lord.
I know. I don't think anybody else has 2. I mean,
no, I don't think so either. Yeah, he's good, man. He's although he did go 3 on his Stone Cold Locks last
Oh, did he really?
We'll
Stone Cold Locks,
I can't even remember my locks.
But yeah.
I
Well,
think
he's probably there may be some strategy there.
Yeah.
He knows people listen
Yep.
from Ben Hart, but he's like, fuck these guys. I'm giving them shit picks, man.
That's
so
a
they
good
screw up
point.
them.
I
I
didn't think
think,
about
dude,
that.
this is all part of the grand plan. Brandon, we're on to you, man, but we like it. I
4D.
So
respect
smart.
The
it.
guy's in
I
4D.
respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah, my break was chilled. Nothing even remotely close to Pat's The Life of Pat. It was great though. It was sometimes, the staycations are just the best.
dude.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we just really chilled. Mars is just working her butt off right now, so she was working a fair amount. But our daughter Sydney left for Sydney, Australia on the 3rd, and so we were trying to spend as much time, soak up as much family time with her as we could. Had a couple family events which were all a blast and super fun, and but yeah, it was very relaxing. And Marcy did not make it to New Year's, throwing her under the bus, but I actually stayed up until about 1:30.
Look at
So
you.
I know. I was impressed with myself, actually, just just patting myself on the back. Um, but yeah, we just played board games. It was so chill. Sydney had a friend over, and had some drinks, and it
That's
was
nice.
a blast. How about you, Bierman?
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, this was the first time ever that I went on a leisure trip during the holidays. Normally I'm like you, we do staycations, and I like it. I like, even though it's usually cold and snowy here, I love that week around the holidays. Usually I'm off. My birthday's in between Christmas and New Year's. But this year we had a chance to go on a cruise with some friends, and I loved it. We were gone December 26th through January 4th. So it was 9-night cruise, pretty long time. We went on Virgin for the first time ever, which was good. There's things I liked about it, things I didn't, and
Solid
I wrote about
breakdown
that.
in the 6-pack.
Yeah, I wrote
Yeah,
about that in the six pack. Yeah, there's
yeah.
definitely some great stuff about it and some things I didn't love about it, but I did like where we went. We stopped in Turks and Caicos, St. Martin, and St. Kitts, in Puerto Rico, but we had been there before. But the other three we had never been to. If you read my six pack, I almost died on December
Yeah.
31st on this volcano hike,
Jeez.
dude. Guys, I'm not, and I'm not exaggerating. Everybody on that hike told me, including my wife, if I was forced to keep going, I would have died. Like
That's insane.
it was brutal, dude. I cannot believe. Well, and I write, and Pat probably doesn't know much about it, but I'm not kidding. Two people fell into the volcano and died like weeks earlier. It's like,
How do they allow
how
this?
are they
I mean,
how
it's
are they letting people do this?
yeah,
Like, I'm serious, dude. It was crazy. So I give a deeper breakdown on that, but that was a little scary, but I made
smart
a
choice
great
though.
decision
Yeah.
and turned around. Yeah, we had a great time. It was very relaxing. I don't know that we'll do it every Christmas. I do like being back. We were rushed Christmas Day because our flight left around 5 o'clock Christmas Day to get to Miami. And so it worked out well because Brady he had to all take a flight at the same time to go to Arizona for the Snoop
Mm,
Dogg Bowl, which, by the way, he met Snoop Dogg.
No way.
He
that's
met
awesome.
Snoop Dogg. Now word's still out on what when Snoop's going to be making an appearance on the pod. We're still trying to
Yeah.
effort that,
Okay.
but
I
he did
like it.
get to meet Snoop. He had a great time out there, even though Miami lost the bowl game. But he had to leave. My daughter had to work at the hospital in the evening, and my in-laws, they were taking Coop down to Florida for the week watching him. So they wanted to get on the road. So it worked out well, but I don't know that every year we'll go on a cruise, but this particular year it worked out.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. So all right, guys. Well, being on this cruise for so long, one of my concerns going in was I going to be able to watch all the bowl games, especially the CFP quarterfinals? And sure enough, thankfully, I was able to watch them all. So that was awesome. And so I want to, we're going to start by just giving a brief takeaway or reaction from each of the four quarterfinals games. What stood out to you? What did what surprised you, if anything? So let's just go through these. We'll start with the Wednesday night game last week between Miami and Ohio State, where the Canes won 24-14. Pat, any reactions from that game?
Look, Ohio State. I don't know. Come on. What are you guys doing? You can't even
That was shocking,
all four
dude.
games.
Yeah.
I was just like, I love to see it, but I couldn't have called these games any worse. I was 0 for 4 on these games. So it's back to the NFL for me forever.
Yeah. And you've made no bones about it. Your sweet spot's the NFL.
And these games, all the bowl games were right around like we're going out to eat and we're going up. Now we got to do family pictures. And now we got, so it's like I'm in and out of all these games. So to actually sit and watch and focus, like there was none of that. Like we'd watch a little bit at a bar, or we'd have some on at the house, but it was always something going on. So,
dude, I will say the great thing about being full-time now on CMEN Sports is not only do I get the free pass in saying this, but my wife is saying this to other people. Well, he's got to watch the game. It's his job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
how
brilliant.
freaking great is
I
that?
should have pulled that.
Yeah.
I should have pulled that card. I don't know what I was thinking.
It's for the pod.
Yeah,
it's for the pod.
It's for the pod, honey.
Yeah. Anyway, what about you, Bill? What did you think of that game, the Miami game?
Well, first and foremost, impressed with Miami. Defensive dominance. I mean, that D line is special, and I had not watched a ton of their games, and so to see those two kids, I can't remember their names, but I think it's number 3 and number 4, or 4 and 5. Those dudes are beasts.
Yeah, I know
absolute beasts. So fun to watch them, but I think and props to Mario Cristobal. I've always hated him because he was the Ducks coach, but you can really see like his imprint with those kids and the physicality that they play with, and it's old school, and I love it. So that was really fun. But the only other comment I want to make on this game, sorry, Pat, real quick, is good riddance, Ohio State, because that is hands down in all of the games I can think of at Husky Stadium in the last 10 years, and I'm including Ducks, I'm including the Cougars. Apple Cup can get feisty. Ohio State's fans were the most obnoxious fan base ever to come into Husky Stadium.
Thank you for saying something I've said for 3 decades.
Quick question. Do you know how Ray Lewis and who's the other guy, the wide receiver for the Cowboys?
Oh, Michael Irvin.
How are they? They get like, not only are they on the sideline, they get like a 15-yard buffer. No one's around them. Like they almost are like
he was like
royalty.
He was like talking to Mario Cristobal in the game.
Yeah,
during the game, Michael Irvin was talking to the head coach. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
That's weird.
Yeah. But anyway, to all the people sitting behind us at Husky Stadium, that was for you. That deep down was for all of you idiots. Still kick the Huskies ass, and that is what it is. But
yeah, it is true. Other fans say it, but obviously I always am rooting for Michigan. I want Michigan to win. They lost their bowl game. The next best thing was seeing Ohio State lose their game. Even though I was mad Michigan lost their bowl game, seeing Ohio State lose made it all seem okay.
9.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
Just destroyed.
So guys, I mean, I frankly wasn't surprised. I didn't think Ohio State was going to win the game, but I called for Miami to cover. I was slightly surprised they won by double digits, but their D is legit. And I mentioned if Carson Beck could do just anything to move the ball and not make any mistakes, they could keep it close, and they did. He did. He had modest stats. He was 138 yards passing, but he was efficient in his short throws. He went 19 for 26. He kept the chains moving. He threw for a touchdown. Most importantly, no turnovers. Their D, though, that was a story. 4 sacks.
It reminds me of the Seahawks.
Yeah. Bill, it's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
So, So, okay. Then we move into Saturday's games, early afternoon tilts. Oregon manhandling Texas 23-0. Any thoughts on that one, Pat?
Texas Tech not even able to score a point is an embarrassment. I mean, it's crazy.
First shutout since 2017 in the CFP, and only the 3rd time in the history of the CFP has there been a shutout.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Were they even close? I don't remember them being down in the red zone.
No.
It was a boring game.
I mean,
it's a good thing it was the first game.
It
was
anymore,
a boring game.
So I have to just say my take right now because I can't. Baron Morton was so freaking terrible.
Like you texted that.
I'm embarrassed for him, but I'm angry with him, and I hate calling out any one player, and these are college kids. and I hate saying what I'm just about to say, but I'm telling you, if I was hiring him for like a real job, I would have questions about hiring him because seeing him under pressure like that fold. I mean, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen by a quarterback in a spot like that, dude. It was terrible.
Was it 30
Terrible.
yards passing? What'd you say, Bierman? I don't even
No,
remember.
he had minus 30 yards rushing. Now,
Oh,
some of
that's
that is
okay.
sacks, I guess.
So,
But he
yeah.
had like 100 and what did he have? 137 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble.
Not good. He was every time they showed him on the sideline, he was like massaging his right arm like it was injured.
Yeah, that's
And
what kids do when they lose. They start
No,
losing. Like
I get that.
coming from the tennis
But
teaching world, any kid who's down is all of a sudden like, oh, my ankle, my back, yeah. I bet that
no,
wouldn't
I
hurt
know.
if you were
I'm
winning.
not defending him. It just seemed like his body language, to Eric's point, was so poor when they needed him to be stepping up. And I mean, if his elbow's hurting him or his arm doesn't work, then coach, you got to get him out of the game.
You gotta get me
I
out.
mean,
Yeah.
he was just atrocious. And Bierman, you nailed it. I thought Oregon was really impressive.
Ducks can run the ball. They got decent defense. I mean, those are two big things.
And I'm interested when we get to the Oregon Indiana preview in a minute. I'm interested in what you guys think because that game to me is just fascinating. But all right, well, let's talk about what I think was just one of the most shocking final scores and one that seemed completely impossible just a few years ago, if we're being honest. The 38-3 just complete thrashing that Indiana laid down on Alabama in the Rose Bowl on Thursday. Pat, even if you didn't see that game,
I did. We watched the first half at a bar. Okay. My brother-in-law's one of my brother-in-laws is from Indy, so he's wearing a Indy 3/4 zip. And then underneath that, he's got Indiana, and everyone he walks by is like, go Hoosiers, and it was a big event for him. So it was fun to watch him and excited for him. But I mean, I thought Alabama would muster a little bit more on offense. I just think some good wide receivers. I thought they would come and show up a little bit. I didn't think they'd actually win, but man, I thought it would actually be a fun game to watch. And by halftime, we were just like, this thing's over. So,
beat down. It's fun to be around, like your brother-in-law when he's in the glory and the people are all celebrating. I always think that's fun. But I mean, there are lots of thoughts on this one. Start with the coaches. Curt Cignetti, the dude. I mean, Bierman's been singing this guy's praises for 2 years, but it's incredible. It's incredible what he's doing. It is absolutely incredible. And then on the flip side, you've got Kalen DeBoer, who I loved at Washington, but I mean, his days are numbered at Alabama if this is the type of performance they're going to throw up. And all season, we all watched Alabama. They couldn't run the ball. And in this game, you could just see that was their undoing. And they just got dominated on the line of scrimmage, both sides of the football, which you just don't think of Alabama. Like no Nick Saban team ever got dominated like that, even against like the amazing Georgia teams or, whoever they were playing. And so to see Indiana of all teams just completely dominate this game from a physical perspective, I thought was stunning, the most stunning part. But yeah, absolutely incredible. And good for Indiana. I mean, they're just a fun team to root for. I have no horse in the game or in the race, but
it was remarkable to see.
Remarkable, yeah.
And I mentioned a couple of these, so I won't rehash it all, but there are a couple of things I think that I just have to repeat. This was the worst bowl loss in Bama's history and their worst overall loss since 1998.
Wow.
To Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay. So that first is just crazy to me. And then I guess this shouldn't shock me because Indiana is bad. Or they have been, but like this was Indiana's first bowl win since the 1991 Copper Bowl. Like,
man,
what?
That's nuts. That is nuts.
I mean, and for them to just dominate Alabama like that, it's crazy, dude.
They're the only team to win in 2 years, earning the bye.
So I know. I know.
1-7, those
I know.
teams, and Indiana
I know.
just destroys Alabama, and they're the only team to win.
I
So
know.
just another feather in the cap of Signetti, I think.
I agree. This is the worst FBS team by winning percentage in history
Yeah,
against the best program of this millennium and arguably the best ever. And they not only won 38-3 in the most prestigious game and setting in all of college football, but it was never in doubt. It was
never.
never in doubt.
No.
Bama had 170 passing yards, 24 rushing yards.
Yeah,
So
they can't
less
run the
than
ball.
200 total yards in a quarterfinal game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just crazy.
embarrassing.
Mendoza looked incredible.
Mendoza
His
was
QB
great.
rating, he had a QB rating of 250.
Is that
I didn't even know
possible?
that was possible. I
Yeah,
did apparently.
it's a new scale, the Mendoza scale.
Yeah, yeah, it was incredible, dude. One of the best stories to happen in college football in a really long time. So
Yeah,
finally,
agreed.
guys, let's talk about the SEC rematch in the Sugar Bowl. By far the most competitive
Mm-hmm.
of the four games.
Great
Ole
game.
Miss without Lane Kiffin got some revenge of their only loss of the season. They beat Georgia 39-34. Pat, what about what are your thoughts on this
Well,
one?
I made it to halftime of this one because it was the late game, and
Yeah, it was late.
you can just I'm a sleepy dude in the winter. I like to hibernate. But I think this is cool because I think Trinidad Chambliss is becoming a star on this stage, and which I love about college
Oh
football.
man,
This is the chance to watch the cream rise to the top at the end of the season, or kids just out, step up and perform. And he looked good. That I was surprised at the result for sure. It's fun to see these kids rise up and become a household name by the end of these. So
Yeah,
hopefully they can keep it going. I like them. I like that team.
yeah.
So
yeah, it's a cool story with Lane's departure. I think Pete Golding is a cool story. The defense has been playing well. That's his unit, right? I mean, that's his side of the football. But I agree with Pat. Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, he made a handful of throws that I was like, whoa. I mean, like off the couch, just like that. I mean, on the move, just dropping it in the bucket. Just incredible. So cool. So
Yeah,
anyway, watching these four games too, to me, Trinidad Chambliss was the best quarterback.
he's the
And
story. Yeah,
and with Mendoza playing great. So pretty neat. Pretty cool
yeah.
story, and we'll see if they can keep it going. And the only other personal note for me in this game, I had the most riding on this one from a gambling perspective because I drafted Ole Miss 14th out of 16 teams in our NCAA teams draft this year. And the only chance I have to get in the money is if Ole Miss wins. So I
There
was
you go.
sweating this one, and they
Nice.
came through. Yeah. So anyway, pretty fun.
Yeah. You guys hit on a lot of it. Chambliss, he 0-star recruit, no D1 offers, went to Ferris State. He won 2 D2 national titles there, guys.
Yeah.
So he knows how to win. He transferred to Ole Miss this past off season, was behind their starter Austin Simmons. Simmons got hurt, and I mean, if he comes back next year, which he just said if he gets a waiver that allows him to come back, he'll come back and play for Ole Miss, and he will
Saw that.
be the huge Heisman frontrunner coming into the season. But I love seeing them win without Lane Kiffin, who is the biggest coaching douche in the sport right now. If Urban ever comes back to the sidelines, that'd be a fun fight to see for the douche title of America. But I am irritated that he keeps getting paid money. There was a
Yeah.
stipulation that as long as Ole Miss keeps winning, LSU keeps paying him more money. He made $500,000 because Ole Miss wins, and
mhm.
that pisses me off.
He
I
should
just
give
can't
it to
stand
all
that
the
guy.
coaches that are still there, but he won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. One other stat that I'll share: Ole Miss was down 21-12 at halftime. They clawed their way back. Georgia had won 53 straight games when leading at halftime before that result, which is just, I mean, that's impressive. That's an impressive stat.
Yeah.
And but it makes Ole Miss's and Chambliss's performance even more remarkable. So yeah, those games were good. I mean, not all of them were close, but they all had compelling storylines. So thanks for breaking those down, guys. Let's talk about the semifinal games now. I cannot wait to see both of these
Yeah.
games.
Me too.
starts Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern here, the Fiesta Bowl. Miami, Florida is 3.5-point favorites against Ole Miss. So let's break this down. What do we think we're going to see here? Who do we like to win? Who do we like to cover? Pat, what do you got?
Give me Miami, which means everyone out there should bet on Ole Miss.
Thank you, Pat.
But yeah,
Thank you for my
Miami
Ole Miss.
defense,
For my Ole Miss.
man, that's tough. They're gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah.
I don't think 3 is enough. I think.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to break down. Yeah. What about you, Bill?
Yeah, same. Nothing more to add to what Pat said. I mean, it's the old axiom, right? Defense wins championships. I liked Ole Miss's offense, but again, I just think you've got to ride the defense here. And does Ole Miss's fairy dust wear off this week? It just feels like this is kind of one of those stories in sports where it's like you had this amazing run, coach leaves, and all the great stuff that's happening, but Miami's defensive line just makes it tough on Trinidad all game long. So give me Miami.
You like Miami. All right. So before I get into my picks for these games, just a couple things overall about these matchups I think is cool and worth mentioning. So 2 of these teams, Indiana and Oregon, have never won a national championship. Ole Miss hasn't won since the early 60s, and that was a shared championship. And I think like there was some dispute with it even. Miami, we all know they won 5 in an 18-year span, but their last one came back basically a quarter century ago, back in 2001. So most of these are pretty new bloods. This will be the 3rd consecutive year the Big Ten will be playing for the national title, and a 3rd different team. Michigan in 2023, Ohio State last year, either Oregon or Indiana, is guaranteed to play. If one of them wins it, it will be the first new champion in the sport since Florida won their first title back in 1996, which I think tells you a lot about the new modern era of college football. And all 4 head coaches come from the Nick Saban coaching tree, which just tells you everything you know about the greatness that guy is. I mean, just so impressive. So for the game, I mean, Miami's defense, guys, well, first of all, I've been impressed with both these teams throughout the playoffs. Miami's D, they've been dominant all season. They held their first 2 CFP opponents to a combined 17 points, 3 points against who they play in the first. Texas A&M, and then 14 with Ohio State. But Ole Miss deserves just as much credit. They navigated the Kiffin saga. They're rallying around new coach Pete Golding. They took care of Tulane, and then they hung around and took care of Georgia in crunch time. As you mentioned, this is an elite defense versus an elite offense. Miami's defense, they're averaging under 14 points per game this season. They've not given up more than 26 points in any game this season. They shut down A&M and Ohio State, but neither of those offenses is on the same level as Ole Miss, guys. This team is ranked number 2 offensively in the country. They score nearly 37 points per game, average almost 500 yards per game. We talked about Trinidad Chiambles, but they got a good running game too with Kewan Lacey, so they balanced attack. Miami is lights out against the run. They are more vulnerable against the pass. They rank like 42nd against the pass, which falls kind of into Ole Miss's strength. I expect Ole Miss to set the pace early, put points on the board. I think they're going to force Carson Beck and company to keep up. Beck's a seasoned veteran. I don't think he's going to be rattled, but he is prone to turnovers. And I think there's going to be some turnovers here. He had a great game last week. I don't think he's going to have the same here. He makes some mistakes. It's not going to shock me if Miami wins and covers, but I like Mississippi getting the 3.5 points here. They just seem destined to kind of to at least reach the title game, in my opinion. So we're going to take Ole Miss. All right, finally, the Peach Bowl. Indiana's favored by 3.5 over Oregon. What are your thoughts on this one, Pat?
If Oregon can control the tempo and the clock and run the ball and eliminate turnovers, I think they can do it. But I don't know. It's 3.5.
Yeah.
Give me a cover.
Yeah, I had it at 4.5.
Give me cover. Give me Oregon to cover in a close one. But I don't know. I think maybe Indy wins.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, it opened at 4.5, but it's you can bet it
It's
3.5
down,
now.
huh? Wow, I'm
Oh.
surprised the money's coming in on Oregon a little bit, but I'm a little different than Pat on this one, and of course my Oregon bias is probably playing in here. But we talked about Indiana, we talked about Cignetti, their performance against Alabama. I think they're the best team in college football. I think they've shown that all season long. I think they continue to show it. I thought Oregon played really well against Texas Tech as well after that rough second half against JMU, but I just don't. I see Indiana just controlling the line of scrimmage again, running the ball. Mendoza's so solid, so I love their advantage in the trenches, and I think Cignetti is 10 times the coach Dan Lanning is. And I have to also just point out one further douchebaggery of
I
Dan
knew you
Lanning.
were gonna do it. Good. Call him out.
They were ahead 16-0. The game's over. They're driving at the end of that
Yeah.
game against Texas Tech, and yet he just continues to run the ball. Why? Why are you still trying to score there? For what purpose? Are you trying to put your own players at risk to prove what point? And he just keeps on pushing the ball in. Now, everyone will say, and the announcers were even saying it because the guy played for Steve Spurrier, I remember, and he was saying, at coach, old ball coach would have been pushing this ball in, and you got to stop us. But do you? Is that really what we need to see at the end of that game? Is Dan Lanning getting the 23rd point? He's such an idiot. And they would have won that game 30 or more to 0 if he didn't go for it every single fourth down like a
Yeah.
moron. And he even called himself out at halftime.
That was irritating, dude. Yeah.
Just hit the ball once. I mean, I
Yeah.
even was texting with my Oregon friends who are fans, and I was like, this has to at some point get to the point where you guys start getting annoyed. That
Yeah.
and they were all like, yep, it's driving us crazy. Just
Yeah.
his ego is the biggest thing in college sports. Now that Lane Kiffin hopefully has come down just a notch. But anyway, Dan
Yeah.
Lanning just cannot stand the dude. So
Yeah.
go Indiana.
Good call. Yeah, so we got a rematch in this game. Indiana beat Oregon 30-20 back in October in Austin. That score's a little misleading, guys. The game was tied 20-20 with 6.5 minutes left. So it truly came down to the wire. Oregon, they come off their blowout of Texas Tech. Everyone thinks of the Ducks as an offensive team, but it's their defense that gets overlooked. 4th nationally in yards allowed. Dante Moore, either Dante Moore or Mendoza is going to be the number 1 overall pick most likely in next year's NFL draft. So going to be kind of cool watching these two battle it out, both incredible quarterbacks. I've been impressed with Oregon. I think they keep this game close, but Indiana, to your point, Bill, they just feel different this season. They can win in multiple ways. I'm not sure any team in the country has a better resume. They beat Oregon. They beat Ohio State 13-10 in a defensive slugfest. They beat Oregon 30-20 by making plays late, and they just crushed Alabama 38-3 in the Rose Bowl. So all kinds of different ways to win. They've also scored 55 or more points 6 times this season, proving they can absolutely light up the scoreboard when they get in just a complete shootout. Yeah, I think Cignetti's the better coach, although I think Lanning's a good coach. Oregon's dangerous. It's going to be a fight, but Indiana, they have the look and feel of a champion this season, so they win by a touchdown. All right, guys. Well, I'm kind of sad the college football season's winding down, but I am excited about these semi games, the national title game. I think all that's going to be fascinating. So should be good. Thanks for helping give your breakdowns there. Let's get into the rest of the show now. Just a moment, we'll do Nailed It for Week 18, then we'll each share our hot takes. Then it's Stone Cold Locks time, where we cannot turn the page to 2026 fast enough. And finally, we'll wrap up the show with our Super Bowl and wild sports predictions for 2026. I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we'll still have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including Pat's impassioned plea as to why Handy Smurf was really the brains behind that whole outfit. And if Papa Smurf wasn't such an arrogant narcissist and let Handy get more involved with leading that village, Gargamel would have been foiled years earlier.
You know how he got his name, right?
Speaking of the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was nicknamed Handy back in high school, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Handy Smurf.
A few weekends without any dates, you'll be called Handy. All right, guys. It is time for the segment Sweet Thing America. It is time for Nailed It. We are back for week 18, and I'll hand it over to Bill in just a moment. Just got to remind everybody, like we do every week, listener competition is still out there. You can win a free trip to Vegas. Just go to cmansports.com for more info. Congratulations to our week 16 winner, Jarrett Martinez, and our week 17 winner, Casey Haldeman. So as for our updated standings, guys, I'm making some headway. So in week 16, I notched 3 points. Bill and Pat both got 1. And then last week, Eric and Pat each got 2, and Bill got 1. So that means Pat has 41 points, Bill has 38, and Eric has 38. So we are all right.
And we have
there
2 weeks left. No,
No,
we have more
3
than
weeks.
that. 3 weeks left.
We have 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Through the Super Bowl. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Bill. What do you got?
All right. So this week, we are going all wild card round, all NFL wild card games. All right. And I avoided the Monday game just to make it a little easier from a scoring standpoint. So all right, let's dive right in. First question. The Rams at the Panthers is the biggest mismatch of the wild card weekend in terms of the point spread. They're 10-point favorites. What will be the difference in score in this one? Bierman, big, 17. Pat, 6. What? How'd you go 6? Same as me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How am I supposed to get how do I catch up if you're reading my text?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. All right. In a third fist fight between NFC North rivals, the Cheeseheads travel to the Windy City to face Bears. Looks like it's going to be cold. Okay. The forecast is 30 degrees. The over-under is 45.5. No, it's not cold. Cold for Seattle, I guess. Yeah. What will be the total points in this game? The over-under is listed at 45.5. Total points. Bierman. Okay, 51. Klett, 35. Sanders, 33. All right, come on, low scoring. The highest scoring matchup is Buffalo at Jacksonville. The over-under is 51.5. Okay, you got to do a little math on this one. How many total TDs will be scored in this game? Klett and I went 6 each and Bierman 5. So Bierman's just looking for the low scoring game in Jacksonville. Or lots of field goals, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And boy, do the Jags have a kicker that can kick field goals. You guys see that dude? 67-yarder again?
Yeah.
Jeez, that guy.
Dude, he's great.
He's not even big.
Little?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's just incredible. All right. Question number 4. The Eagles are 4.5-point favorites over the Niners. I don't know about you guys, but this line just feels funny to me.
It's weird. Yeah.
The Niners defense is pretty bad, but they did hold the Seahawks in check last week. Philly, their offense is struggling mightily, right? And has for like the second half of the season. Just ask Paxton, right? So this feels like a close game where Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy might have to use their legs to make some critical plays for their offenses and lead their team to victory. How many combined rushing yards for these two quarterbacks? And the stats are Jalen averages 26 yards per game. Brock averages 16 points per game, averages 16 yards per game. So total average between the two is 42 yards per game.
Oh,
Klett, 56.
Sandwiched. Damn, you guys.
Bierman 52, Sanders 61.
Dude,
I had to go crazy.
So far.
I had to go crazy.
Yeah.
I got to steal some points somewhere. But that should be interesting. Props to my buddy Kyle Wagner, who threw out a nice little over rushing yards prop on Brock Purdy against the Seahawks and hit it. That was pretty fun rooting for him on that one. All right, last question, boys. Question number 5. Drake May has just been awesome this year. Justin Herbert banged up. But Jim Harbaugh's teams always seem to be ready to play, even when this feels like a bit of a mismatch. And it's just a 3.5-point line, which again feels like a weird line to me for some reason this week. It's going to be chilly in Foxborough. It's an evening kickoff. The over-under is 46.5, but this is the first time I believe I've asked this question and nailed it all season. What I need to know is, what are the total points going to be in the first half? All right, Klett 21, Sanders 21, Bierman 17, and I almost went 20. So I guess maybe I prefer to not be in the sandwich. But all right, boys, we'll enjoy Wild Card Weekend. Should be fun. We kept them pretty straight, pretty easy this week.
I love it.
So good luck.
That's good. Can't wait. Well, guys, it is time to get into hot takes.
Hot
That's right.
takes.
Sandman Sports Hot Takes brought to you by Double Take Salsa. Double Take is not your run of the mill salsa, guys. It's small batch salsa and hot sauce made with real high quality ingredients. Their motto is simple: flavor first, heat second. One bite hits you with bold taste, and then the spice sneaks up to make you do exactly what the name suggests: a double take. If you're serious about salsa, this one absolutely must be in your pantry. Find them at doubletakesalsa.com and on Facebook and Instagram. All right, it is hot take
Hot
time.
takes.
What do you got, Pat?
All right. Well, first, let me start with NBA. Christmas Day basketball, Wolves Nuggets. I want to watch basketball, but the fouls and reviews and the last 5 minutes of a game can take an hour.
Oh, it's
And
terrible.
I just
Dude.
can't.
It's terrible.
The refs, the calls were
travel.
so bad, and I mean, it's just so blatant. It just seems like it's just so random if they're going to call a foul or if they're not going to call a foul, or everything's just kind of like they're making it up as they go. There's not really a I don't know, like a good review system, and then do we even want more reviews, because it's just going to take another 5 hours just to finish this stupid game. So I think I'm going to go with hockey this year. I'm going to watch the hockey Olympics. Gonna watch, just gonna stick in my off season from football. I'm gonna go to hockey. Basketball's out this year. So basketball
Nice.
is the
Okay.
dumbest. Other than that, conspiracy theory of the week. I think Joe Burrow let Garrett get the sack record. He didn't even seem to fight and went down way too easy. Did you see how he just kind of collapsed there? I think that was fixed.
It seemed a little fishy.
It was fishy for sure. I think Joe Burrow had some money on Garrett getting the sack record. Other thing, why would the Eagles rest guys versus Washington?
Yeah.
And now you lost.
Weird.
And instead of playing the bruised and battered Packers team, you have to play San Francisco. I think that was a big miss, that loss against Washington. I mean, Washington's terrible. You guys just put your guys in there. So that was pretty stupid. And then I'm going to finish with the great Sunday night football game. Crazy game. I don't know if you watched that game between the Ravens and the Steelers, but those kicks had some voodoo. Like, I don't know if you watched one of these kicks. It's going straight down the middle, and all of a sudden, like, just takes a right turn, puts his blinker on, and takes a right. The Boswell's kick. Yeah. The Pittsburgh, that to go up, they would have been up by 2. That
just felt like the death.
That thing looked so crazy watching it on TV. That right turn it took, it was just like someone's got some voodoo magic going on. But I think ultimately,
like Kletz drives.
Yeah, I mean, I like Mike Tomlin like you like Signetti, Bierman. I think that guy.
You do.
Yeah, he seems like a guy you want to play for,
Tomlin.
so long as he doesn't get mad at you. I don't know. Rodgers next week versus the Texans. He's so intense and he's so awesome.
That's an interesting game.
Yeah.
Did you hear his quote after the game when they asked him about, basically a what if scenario? And did you hear Tomlin's quote about, he said, well, if my aunt had like male parts, then she'd be my uncle. And I like, we'd call him uncle, and I'm just like, Tomlin's
the best.
He's just the best.
He was smiling and laughing the whole game. Like, he's such a cool dude. And I loved him when he was with the Vikings. So, but yeah, Rodgers versus the Texans. Give me the under for sure. And Houston playoff history, not so good. So could we see a little A-Rod GOAT playoff run to finish off the career? Maybe. I mean, NFL playoffs, we haven't really talked much about them, but who you got, who you rooting for? I'm rooting personally for Stafford and the Rams, but give me the shock the nation, Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could make a little run.
I like that.
I don't know. I mean, teams that aren't going to make it: Chargers, Carolina, Green Bay. I think those are never. First of all, never will I ever. You want to play the game? Never have I ever. Never have I ever pick the Packers for anything.
Yeah.
There you go.
Chug. You remember that game where you drink if you never have ever? Anyway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Mark it, dude.
I don't know. I'm excited. NFL playoffs. That's where it's at.
Love it. Yeah, dude. What the playoff? Yeah.
And I'm excited for this. I think I'm gonna get into the it's like the Ben Harper for the playoffs. What do you call that? That pool?
Oh yeah. The playoff sportsbook
sportsbook pool. That should be a fun one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. That's great. Yeah, so I have to start off with, we all love to gamble. We all love sports. And I just have to a little shout out, like pour a little water out for the homies. Week 18 Survivor.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do this, which is
This
good.
My heart hurt for
This is tough.
these three guys that went out when multiple weeks they've been trying to chop. Like a bunch of these guys have been trying, just take a little piece, a little something, just get a little something for my efforts. No chop, no chop, no chop. So play on. And I'm like, good. All right, great. The guy didn't want to chop and that's fine. So two people picked Cincinnati this week. Last second field goal,
Were
Cleveland.
one of those two people that didn't want to chop?
No.
Okay.
No, it was not. So it wasn't the one of the guys that didn't want to chop lost in week 17. So he was already out. But in week 12,
This is the
came down
Sandman
to
Survivor?
11 players. Sandman
Yeah,
Survivor.
okay.
Big
How many
pot,
people ended up winning total? Like
8.
8? Okay.
Yeah. And it was 11 heading into week 18. It was 12 in week 17. Went down to 11. And then two guys took Cincinnati and Cleveland hits that last second field goal. And I mean, my heart literally hurt for those guys. Then, to Pat's point, another guy took Philly. And if you don't think that guy hates Nick Sirianni's guts more than anyone on planet Earth today, you are kidding yourself. Because don't forget, Nick Sirianni said, we will not rest our starters. We will play.
For you to,
And so he goes Philly, and then he doesn't play anyone. They still almost win the game. They still, with some guy named McKee that I'd never even heard of, this backup quarterback. And then Washington ends up winning this game with a 39-year-old Josh Johnson behind center. And the kid, and he played well. And I call him kid. He's 39. But anyway, just my heart goes out to the three people that lost in week 18. And to lose on a last second field goal, it hurts me deep to the core for those guys.
How many people were in Survivor initially?
We had 600 and something, 630, I want to say.
And 8 people made it. That's impressive just to make it to week 18.
Yeah.
That's an incredible feat.
Yeah. Two other quick thoughts. Seahawks. Got to throw out a shout out. Number 1 seed, best team in the regular season, over under of 7.5 wins. Mike McDonald, second year. This team is as fun to root for as any Seahawk team that I can remember. But dating back to Legion of Boom days, when they won the Super Bowl, should have won 2 back to back. Never will get over that one.
What's their nickname? They have a nickname that's not. They have a new nickname.
The Dark Side?
Dark Side, yeah.
Or something like that. I was like, I don't know. I don't love it. But they just have so many fun players. There's no egos on this team. They got rid of DK Metcalf, who I didn't mind, but he was kind of a little bit of a problem. No Russell Wilson, no Geno Smith. And it's just super fun. And the defense is so special. And this team lost 3 games. And do you guys know the total combined points that they lost those 3 games by?
3.
Total combined points. 7.
Wow.
Maybe it's 9.
That's impressive.
It's single digits.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. So, and then the last thing is, and I briefly mentioned this, and I just want to quickly talk about over aggressiveness of head coaches. Because if you're a Detroit Lions fan this year, are you loving Dan Campbell?
No.
All the greatness of Dan Campbell.
It's gone overboard. Yeah.
And I talked about Dan Lanning, right, with Oregon. At some point, you gotta just
take 3 points.
Take 3 points.
Take 3 points. There's nothing wrong with taking 3 points.
And I know the analytics and all the stuff, but anyway, those are my hot takes. Bierman, I talked for a lot now. Back to you.
All right, boys. Well, I'm going to start with a few hot takes around college football, and then I'm going to end with a college basketball one. So first, I need to start telling people, for the love of God, stop living in the past and telling me that the SEC is still the best conference in college football. 5 years ago, maybe, but times have changed. Not only does the Big Ten boast the past 2 national champs in Michigan and Ohio State, it is guaranteed, as I mentioned, that the conference will be playing for its 3rd straight with either Indiana or Oregon, guaranteed a berth in the Natty. Also, let's look at their bowl records just this season so far, and I find it laughable that Greg Sankey was petitioning the CFP for up to 7 SEC teams in the field. Are you freaking kidding me, Sankey? Shut the fuck up. This bowl season so far, the Big Ten is 9-4. 9-4 with Indiana and Oregon still alive. The SEC is 4-9, and Texas is the only conference member to beat a non-SEC Power 4 team when they beat a coachless Michigan team in complete disarray. And even that game was in doubt late into the 4th quarter. Yay for the frickin' SEC.
Preach,
And by the way, while we're talking about bowl records, I got to give some love for Pat's Golden Gophers, who, believe it or not, have now won 9 straight bowl games.
For sure.
Wow.
That's
row that boat,
That's
Gophers.
why we got Fleck. Just be mediocre enough to win a bowl, get to the bowl game, and then just kill it in the bowl games.
Yeah.
They almost lost that bowl game.
Oh, I know. I picked New Mexico plus 2.5. They were one of my Stone Cold locks and one of my best bets, and they lost by 3. And that was a fun game to watch. It was. Yeah. So I mentioned Michigan. I wrote about this in my 6-pack, so I'm not going to belabor it here, but I have to mention briefly here how happy I am that Michigan got Whittingham. They could not have landed a better coach than Kyle Whittingham, especially not at that point in the cycle. He did wonders at Utah, 18-21 winning seasons, went 11-6 in bowl games. He has all the resources and money at Michigan. He's going to crush it in Ann Arbor. More importantly, though, he brings steady leadership. He's basically cleaned house already. He's kept one coach, a running backs coach, who just came in last year. So kind of before all that crap started, we can finally turn the page on that dark cloud hanging over this program. He's older. He's 66. He's not going to be here for decades, but that's fine. He's going to stabilize us. He's going to give us time to find the next right coach when that time comes in a few years. So well done, Michigan. Welcome to Ann Arbor, Coach Whittingham. Finally, from a college football coaching or college football hot take standpoint, the CFP has got to figure out this bye thing. As you mentioned, Bill, Indiana is the only team with the first round bye out of the last 8, the past 2 years, to win their quarterfinals game. And I do think that tells you a lot about how good this Indiana team really is, but also how flawed the current system is. You cannot have a team be off for 30 days and then ask them to play a team that just played a meaningful game 7 days earlier. Yeah. That's not an advantage. It's a clear disadvantage. And CFP has to change that. My recommendation, and this very well might go into my manifesto, is to simply start the first round games 1 week after the regular season ends. Mm-hmm. Then you got the quarters 2 weeks after. That way you only have 2 weeks or one normal bye week to contend with for the top seeds. And that's common. And these teams can endure that.
Or have 16 teams. I mean, 16. It's a good solid number. Add 4 teams.
You could do that, but then you're like, what's really the advantage to the first the number 1?
You get
seed?
To play James Madison,
but you get to play, and you know what? Maybe that's it. That's probably just as good of a recommendation, Pat. And they very well might go to that, but they got to do something. All right, finally, guys, I wrote in my 6-pack about 5 college basketball teams that are ranked and are currently undefeated, and none of them are what we would call blue bloods. I'm not going to get into all the specifics. You can read the article, but I will tell you 4 of the 5 are number 1 Arizona, number 2 Michigan, number 3 Iowa State, and number 11 Vanderbilt. And the 5th, Bill, I promise, no jokes in this segment, but the 5th, I got to give some massive love to the Nebraska Cornhuskers basketball team. I am talking Nebraska basketball. That has to be a first on this pod. Guys, this team is really good. They're ranked 15-0, or their record's 15-0. They're ranked number 13 in the nation. They have the 3rd best RPI ranking, only behind Michigan and UConn. In their last 4 Big Ten games, they beat Wisconsin by 30. They beat ranked Illinois in Champaign. They beat number 9 ranked Michigan State, and they just beat Ohio State on the road last night, 72-69. I realize Big Ten play just started. It's a tough conference. I've actually seen some of these guys' games. They're good. They're fun to watch. Nebraska has only made the big dance 8 times in their history, and they've gone 0-8. They've never won a game in March Madness. This year, I think they end that drought. So go Huskers. All right, guys, let's get into Stone Cold Locks now. As I mentioned earlier, thank God that we are into 2026
Wow.
because 2025, it was not our year. It
No.
was not our year. We finished about as cold as we started back in the fall. Pat went 0-3. I mentioned Brandon Lewis, our guest, went 0-3. Bill and Eric each went 1-2.
Killing it.
So now our season records are Bill, you're 26-27. You're our leader, and you're 26-27.
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
24-27-3, and Pat's 25-29. But guys, let's not forget, we absolutely crushed it in 2024. We're allowed a down year. It's okay. I'm thinking 2026 is going to be another up year for us. So let's start that momentum right now. Let's get 2026 kicked off in a really good fashion. Pat, you have the honor of giving us the very first Stone Cold Lock of 2026. Make it a winner, buddy. Let's
All right.
go.
This is, look, you know me. I get locked in on teams every once in a while that I fall in love with, and anytime I can bet against the Packers is a good day. And historically that's not good for me because the Packers are generally pretty decent, but yeah, Green Bay and Chicago's a pick'em game. I think it's an intriguing prediction. Look, for me, this is just the spot for LaFleur and his team without Micah Parsons to step up and silence the Bears and their bandwagon fans. But I can't believe that they are not underdogs here. Am I missing something? Give me the Bears to win a pick'em game at home. Look, Caleb Williams, by the way, has not looked as inaccurate as of late. So he's thrown some decent balls. I catch a lot of the games because my son, somehow born in Minnesota, has my blood, is a Bears fan. So I watch all the Bears games with them, and they're fun to watch. I mean, look, you got emerging wide receiver Luther Burden the third. Hopefully they get a Dunze back. You got Loveland and Komet, 2 strong tight ends. Swift in the backfield, and I like this Kyle Monangai kid. He's a good running back too. So give me the Bears. It seems like a trap for me, just because of the Green Bay and what they've done to me historically, but I just think there's too much good chemistry on that offense. So, and as I said, Caleb not throwing as inaccurate as the beginning of the season, I think is huge for them. So that's my first one. Bears.
Yeah, we're starting off 26 with a 2-pack.
Nice.
Right off the bat.
Nice.
I saw this line and I was just like, what?
By the way, guys, I'm going to just spoil it. It's a 3-pat, and the line is Bears plus 1.5. So it's not a pick. The Bears are actually getting points at home.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know. So now I'm nervous that we're all 3 on this game. But yeah, I mean, Pat just broke it down perfectly. I just think they got the wrong team favored.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Dude, I've picked against the Bears a lot this season, but not at home getting points against a terrible Green Bay team. Guys, they're on a 4-game losing streak. Teams starting on the road in a 4-game losing streak in NFL playoff history have never won a game. Ever. They're not winning this game. This is a team in complete downfall. For the full season, they have an offense and defense near the top 10, but in their last 3 games, bottom 10 offense, bottom 5 defense. Bears have a top 6 offense. They've been very efficient. They're going to take care of business. I love getting 1.5 here.
Let's do it. Let's start off 3-0, boys.
See if we can keep it going. I'm sticking with NFL. I'm obviously not doing any NCAA picks. Jags getting 1 point at home versus Buffalo was my first thought here, but I think the Jags team is pretty good. But either way, I don't know. This one's such a tough one because I picked the Bills to win the whole thing. so it's hard for me to pick the Jags. So what I am going to do, I'm taking the over. And when I checked, the over was around
It's crazy.
49. What's it at right now? 50,
It's 51 and
51
a
and a
half.
half. I
51.
don't think there's a number
Yeah.
high enough. I want, I don't know. I feel like Josh Allen can get hot and beat anyone at any time. I want to take the Jags, but just for the sake of I can't pick a team here, I'm going with the over. Both teams can score in bunches. Let's do it.
All right. I
So
like it.
I
You
just
doing the same?
it's a two-pat. I wanted to take the Jags and I just couldn't do it. And then I just thought, this is how poorly I've been picking. I'm like, this is just gonna be a fun game.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to score a bunch of points, and this will give me something fun to root for.
Mhm.
So there wasn't a ton of like analysis that went into this outside of the fact that I was too chicken shit to take the Jags, and two, I think it's going to be high scoring. I actually see it at 52 and a half now, but 51 and a half
Keeps
works for
marching
me
up.
as well. Yeah. So anyway, I think a lot of people in the betting public are of the same mind, which is always maybe a bad sign. But yeah, give me the over.
Like it. Guys, I rarely pick over-unders. But we just talked about this game. Not only do I like the Bears getting 1.5, I like this. And I know you guys in our nailed it. You picked lower scores. I love the over in this game, over 45.5. I know it's cool, but not really. The Bears D is terrible, and their offense is top 6, as I mentioned. Their offense is very good. The Pac D has really been struggling of late, especially since Micah Parsons' injury. I do think Jordan Love and company are going to make this game close. Like, I think they're going to put up plenty of points. I just think that Caleb Williams and that team is going to put up more points. I see this game being something like 28-21. 31-24, 28-24, something like that. So I love the over 45.5. So that's
Yeah,
my
Bears kind of have that bend not break defense where they'll give you yards. They're just hoping for an opportunity to create a turnover. But yeah, that's not a bad play. That's not a bad pick there. My last one, I got Patriots laying 3.5 versus Chargers. Patriots all day here. The Chargers are banged up constantly. Yes, they have a great run defense, but
It's a
that can
weird
slow
line.
down Henderson.
It's a weird line.
But that's about all here. I think Herbert going to the East Coast to perform a miracle. I just don't see it. So, and you say Patriots are going to win 3.5. That's not. It's not. They don't got to win. They only got to win by 4. I'll take that.
Yeah. It's not a two-pat this time. I did like that one as well, but I didn't put that into my top 3. I had to put Indiana minus 3.5 versus Oregon. So I hated to put this in my picks because I don't want to jinx it. I want Indiana to win this game so bad. But I just think it's one of those ones. Don't overcomplicate it, Sanders. Just pick the team that you think's the best team in college football, and I think that's Indiana. So give me the minus 3.5.
Yeah, I know. I agree, and I probably would put that in there as well. Wanted to give a few different ones since we broke that one down earlier, but I do like Indiana minus 3.5 in that game. But I'm going with the Rams. They're favored by 10 in Carolina. Biggest spread by far in the opening weekend. There's a reason why. I know I took the Panthers 2 weeks ago, getting 7.5 at home against the Seahawks, saying a home underdog getting that many points in the NFL is a lock. But the playoffs are a different story. Carolina, by the way, got crushed in that game. They're 8-9. They've lost 3 of their last 4. And of all the playoff teams, they have by far the worst offense, finishing 6th worst in the league in yards gained. Their defense is right around average, including their pass defense. Now they face the number 1 rated offense and the number 1 rated passing offense. This team is pissed. The Rams are pissed after not only losing to this very same Panthers team by 3 on the same field back in November, but they also just lost 2 close ones to the Seahawks and the Falcons that cost them a higher seed. This is one of the best teams in the NFC still, and I expect them to put a hurting on a pretending team like the Panthers. Rams win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Nice.
One thing too, just out here in Seattle, everyone's freaking out that the Rams will face the Seahawks in round 2. And man, we do not want to see the Rams. I mean, that team is so scary.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get into our top 5, our first top 5 of the year. And it's going to be a fun one since this is our very first podcast of the year. And everyone knows we like to make predictions and throw around our opinions on this pod. Today, we're going to share our top 5 wildest and bold sports predictions for the coming year, 2026. These can be any sport, any team, any player, any angle you want. Just, we'll want to keep these somewhat realistic, but we don't want to make them boring. So no slam dunks here. So, for example, saying Scotty Scheffler wins a major, that's not bold. Saying he wins the Grand Slam, that is pretty bold, and that can make this list. So that's what we're looking at: bold, wild, but realistic sports predictions for 2026. All right, Pat, lead us off. Number
All
5
right, in
and
no
4.
particular order. I just came up with these 5, but I think Max Homa will have a huge bounce back year. He had a really
Wow,
bad
okay.
start last season and is currently ranked
I like this.
138th in the world. Look for him to rack up some top 10s and throw a win or two in there. And by the end of the year, back in the top 20. Look, every so often guys will fall out of form for a minute. And last year was like that for a number of players like Spieth and Homa. But I think Max is too proud, and he is too good to stay down for long. So Max Homa finishing the year in the top 20.
I love it. That's a great
good
one.
start to our
Far
predictions.
way away. And number 4, you guys are gonna, I feel like the Bears make a legit run at the Super Bowl this year. I just got a feeling, for all the reason I mentioned
Wow.
before, that they have some nice pieces, D that creates turnovers. Why not? It's anyone's year. I feel like to make a bold claim like this one is reckless, but they're just isn't a clear favorite, and I think they can do it. And Packers suck. Packers are the worst team ever, worst franchise, worst fans.
I love
All
it.
right, dude, I love it. That's
Great
a great
start.
start.
Making
All
a
right,
making a
great
bold claim
start.
like that is tough. That's a long shot.
Yeah,
but
I know. This was, yeah. No, I enjoyed though.
Yeah.
I think our
I thought
biases
a
are
lot
going to
about
be
it, but yeah.
showing loud and
Mhm,
clear
mhm.
through some of these predictions. But yeah, no, that's fantastic. All right, speaking of biases and hometown love, I predict DeMond Williams Jr., quarterback for the Washington Huskies, has a better statistical season than Arch Manning and Marcel Reed, who are both absolute media darlings. Their announced returns to their teams are official. I don't know if the team will be good enough to get him into the Heisman race, but he will definitely have better statistics than a couple of those media darling quarterbacks. So DeMond Williams Jr., big season for the Huskies. And he's just super fun kid to root for. Number 4, this is a big one. The Seattle Supersonics will be announced to return to the NBA. 17 years after they were torn from us in this city, Adam Silver has said that the expansion decision will be made in 2026, and it's time for the NBA to make this right. Bring the Sonics back.
I think they're bringing
It
2.
finally
Are they bringing
happens
2 teams?
in 2026.
I think they said they're
I
bringing
think
2
Vegas
teams.
and Seattle are the favorites, but it wouldn't put and look, you nailed it earlier, Pat, with the NBA and just how ridiculous it is right now. I mean, the amount of steps that guys can take it
Stupid.
drives me absolutely bonkers.
The gather step, like he's gathering the ball so he can take 2 steps. Like,
oh, it's just incredible. The 7, 8, 9 steps these guys are taking to get shots off. But what I was talking with somebody about this week, and I think this is what, as I get older, just having the event to root for, to have a reason to sit down and watch something with my kids, to have people come over for a playoff game, right? Having 82 more reasons to turn on the TV and have something on in the background is something that we miss in Seattle with the NBA, even if the NBA is stupid.
Yeah.
So let's bring the Sonics back. It's going to happen.
Love it. All right, guys. After decades of being America's darling and trying their best to go from new blood to blue blood, Mark Few finally breaks that barrier.
Wow.
My number 5 is that Gonzaga wins this year's national
That
title.
would be huge.
They've made 2 natty games back in 2017, 2021. They make it and they win this one. This team is currently 16-1. They're ranked number 8. They have wins against Oklahoma, Alabama, Kentucky, UCLA, Oregon, and Creighton. Their only loss so far was to number 2 ranked Michigan in Ann Arbor back in November. They play in the West Coast Conference. I get it, but they've proven they can beat anybody. And honestly, I think playing in the West Coast Conference could help them be a little bit more rested, to hopefully stay injury free, not get beaten up in those tough physical conference like many of the other teams. They've won 9 in a row since the Michigan loss. They're going to be favored in every game here on out, so it's very possible they get a number 1 seed. Veteran roster, they brought back 64% of their team's minutes from last season. Graham Ike, Braden Huff give them a proven inside-outside offensive core. I'm telling you, book it. They're currently at plus 1,500 on the books. Jump all over it because the Bulldogs will be cutting down the nets in Indianapolis.
Wow, that's bold.
All right, guys. This one is bold, and I hope I'm wrong, but I actually could see this one happening. My number 4, and you kind of alluded to a little bit of this, Bill, earlier. My number 4 is that Curt Cignetti goes to Alabama after next season.
Wow.
I believe Indiana wins the Natty this year. Okay. That's not bold. I think they're going to win it. But I also think Cignetti is going to have the Hoosiers back in the CFP next year doing normal Cignetti things. Bill, I know you love Kalen DeBoer, but you did talk earlier, you're not sure if he's going to stick around.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on this guy, and Alabama is not a patient fan base. It may not be fair to compare him to Saban, but DeBoer has 8 losses in his last 2 seasons in Tuscaloosa. Now Saban had 8 losses in his last 5 seasons there. I think Bama has another mass season next year. They fired DeBoer, and even though Cignetti is getting paid by Indiana, he has ties to Alabama. He worked there as an assistant under Saban before taking the James Madison spot. Tide will back up the truck to get Cignetti, and I just find it hard to believe that Cignetti could or would turn the opportunity down to coach one of the most premier and iconic programs in college football history. So I don't want it to happen, but I see a narrative where that can happen. So that's my number 4.
Crazy.
Doesn't strike me as the guy to ever leave. I think he'll be a lifer there.
I hope I'm wrong.
Anyway.
How old is he? Any idea?
87.
He's like in his early 60s.
60s?
Yeah, he's in
Okay.
his early 60s. He's not young, but
interesting. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I love this game.
It's a fun game.
Pat, hit us
All
with
right,
your
what do you
3
got?
and
I got a couple of realistic ones and a couple of fake ones. Number 3, Deion Sanders is hired as the Browns' new head coach.
Dude, that did very well. They're talking about that.
No, that's not one of my fake ones.
Yeah.
You'll know my fake ones when you hear them. Look, Stefanski is out by the time this airs, I'm sure. And the Browns have a history of doing really stupid things. So why not add Deion to the list? His kids there. It just makes sense. And
wow. Yeah, that would be crazy.
that would be kind of interesting one. My fake one, the Winter Olympics will be canceled due to World War III. And half of the Dodgers roster will be deported by ICE agents, ruining their hopes for a repeat. They're going to raid the dugout.
Can you imagine? They all show up at Chavez Ravine and they're just taking guys out of there.
Shohei's like, I'm Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei's like, I'm Japanese.
I'm Shohei. Anyway, my real prediction for number 2 is the Dodgers will repeat. And not only that, they will probably three-peat the following year.
Oh, wow.
The lineup's too good. Teams like the Twins without the money don't have a chance. If I really want to make a stretch like baseball pick, I'll pick Detroit to play them in the World Series. But I think it's Dodgers for the foreseeable future with that pitching lineup and all the money they have. I just don't see them getting knocked out for a couple of years. It's going to be a regime. It's going to be a long regime.
Well, it's a great segue. Pat and I have been very locked in episode 72 here, but I went with my number 3, Shohei Ohtani, goes for, check these numbers out. And I think these are stretch but reasonable. 60 plus home runs.
Doable.
100 plus RBIs.
Yeah.
20 plus stolen bases. And 20 plus wins.
Only 20 plus
I
stolen
think it
bases.
would be, I think he's averaged just like low 20s the last couple years when I was looking at this. I would argue the best statistical season in sports history
is coming
if he could do that.
Yeah. If he can get 20 wins, And 60 home runs?
20 wins on top of 60 home runs and 100 RBIs.
I think
Crazy.
it's possible.
The kid's amazing. Oh yeah. So sorry, my number 2. I was just stuck on my Shohei stats. This is a big one, boys. Live Golf continues to erode. Brooks Koepka he's now the first one to defect. OWGR points are not officially awarded, and they're still hanging in the balance. And lots of these guys, their first contracts are set to expire. In 2026, the PGA Tour comes up with a ruling to allow the top handful of players to rejoin the PGA Tour. And it's golf fans rejoice that they bring all these guys back. And I think it's going to happen in 2026.
What is Koepka going to do? Do they say anything? Like, he's not playing on live? Is he?
He's still qualified for the majors.
Right.
They said he can maybe go play some DP World Tour events. Okay. And then, a President's Cup potentially, I guess he could be in the mix later this summer. But yeah, I mean, he's still going to play in all the majors. But yeah, it's just good. It's good for golf. We got to get these guys back together. Yeah. So I'm rooting for that one to happen.
This is crazy what my number 3 is. Bill.
Did you do Shohei?
I did Shohei, and I did that it would be an amazing year. Now, our stats are different.
Okay. All right. What'd you come up with?
Yeah. So.
Because we didn't talk about this.
No, not at all. No. Yeah. So, no player in modern Major League Baseball mine's a little bit more pitching heavy, but no player in modern Major League Baseball history has won 15 or more games, had a 2.8 ERA or better, 200 or more strikeouts, and 40 or more home runs. And I think he does all of that this season. Now, he has hit all of those numbers at some point in his career, but just never in one season. Now, in 2022 for the Angels, this was his best pitching year by far. He won 15 games. He had a 2.33 ERA, and he had 219 strikeouts, all personal records for him. And for the home runs, listen to this. He's hit 40 or more homers in 4 of his past 5 seasons. Ironically, the one season he didn't do that was the one in 2022 when he had those great pitching stats, and he had 34 homers. So if he can just, I just think he's good. I just have this weird feeling, and Bill, maybe it's your numbers he hits and not mine, but he is going to have an incredible year. He is truly, in my opinion, the greatest baseball player of all time. Wow. And I love seeing it. And I want him to just keep having these magnificent years. So that's my prediction. Number 2, this one is tough for me to say. This is tough. But my number 2 bold prediction for 2026 is that Joe Burrow either just flat out retires,
goes to the Vikes,
or he refuses to play, unless the Bengals trade him. Guys, the Bengals are terrible. The Bengals are terrible. Their window is closing fast. Burrow is 29. And I get that Stafford's putting up crazy numbers at 38, but once you hit 30, I mean, I don't know. There's a little bit of urgency there. And I get Chase and Higgins are still young. Chase Brown is still, like, they've got the talented skill players, but they don't have anything else. The Bengals team made the Super Bowl in 2021. And in 2022, they went back to the AFC Championship game where they lost to the Chiefs. But since then, there's been 3 full seasons now. They haven't made the playoffs once. They haven't finished above 3rd place in their division. And their combined record those 3 seasons have been 24 and 27. And here's some recent quotes in the past few weeks from Joe Burrow. Quote, "If I want to keep doing this, then what am I trying to do with myself? I have to have fun doing this. If it's not fun, what am I doing this for? That's my mindset." Then he later said, "Do I have fun playing? I mean, I guess how much? Winning's always fun, but in general, was it as fun as before? No, I would say I'm not having as much fun as I had before." Those are red flags for me, guys. Yeah. I think he's tired of the losing. He's tired of getting injured. This team has got to get a better defense because, one, with the terrible defense, that means he has to pass that much more, which puts him more vulnerable to getting injured. But two, they are more likely to win, which means he's going to have more fun and more likely to stay. I have zero confidence in Zach Taylor, even though Burrow likes him. The guy's living off that Super Bowl. He's terrible. The Bengals are one of only 3 NFL teams that have fewer than 4 area scouts, putting them at the lean end of traditional scouting staffing. They're a cheap franchise. I think Burrow may stay one more year, but if we don't see a good offseason with like free agent money pouring out and a good draft, I don't think we see him after next year. So
that'd be a shame.
Man,
it's such a shame, dude. Such a waste.
Fun. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Number one.
Sydney
Sydney Sweeney will end up breaking up a marriage, either Eric Bierman
coming with me
or
Bierman's
Travis
marriage.
Kelce.
Yeah.
No, I think she's gonna end up with an athlete though. She's gonna like all of a sudden it'll come out and it'll be like Sydney Sweeney and Shea Gilgeous are a thing, you know. So
she's apparently dating Christian Pulisic, the U.S. men's national team soccer star.
Really?
Sorry, who?
Yeah, that's what I know.
God
I know you don't
damn
know
it. Wait a minute.
An athlete. I said an athlete, Bill, not a soccer player.
Come on. Please tell me
that's lies.
True.
You know, my number one prediction is going to be Bill starts a podcast about soccer in 2020.
There you go.
Leaves this damn podcast.
Well,
by the way,
go
see the Housemaid, guys. Not only do you get to see her a little, but it's a good movie.
Nice. Actually, if I'm doing a real one, I'm going to say Texas wins the college football playoff next year and Arch Manning wins the Heisman.
Wow.
I think he had a year. He had a year to figure some things out. This was a learning year for him. As the year got on, I think he was making fewer mistakes, and I think the progression can only get better for him.
All right.
I thought you were avoiding college football.
I am. I am, but I just had to say something sporty besides Sydney Sweeney.
And then he starts dating Sydney Sweeney.
Could be.
Could
be. How old is she? Is she pretty young?
She's like 27.
27. That's too old for Arch. Yeah. Arch can't handle that kind of maturity.
It's not too old for me.
Maybe Eli or Peyton.
Oh man. All right, boys. You are honestly not going to believe my number one prediction. And I am officially turning over a new leaf in 2026.
Oh, wow.
The Oregon Ducks will win the national championship in 2026.
This one that we have right now.
In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks?
Or next year?
The following year.
No. Next year. Okay.
So
Oregon wins the 2020. Yeah. Okay. That's what I
they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. That's not happening. Let the jinx sink in, Phil Knight. Because there's no way in hell I would ever pick the Oregon Ducks to win anything ever.
Oh, wow.
Not happening. Okay, so that was a little.
You're pulling the rug.
You just made me write something down on my paper.
Phil, you can spend $1 billion trying to, move your program into relevance. It's never going to happen. My official number one bold prediction of 2026.
That was awesome.
Indiana Hoosiers back-to-back national champs.
Look at this. What? And then Signetti.
So I'm picking them to win in on the 19th, and then they're going to win it again.
Wow, that is bold.
Plug in a quarterback for Fernando Mendoza, and this team is right back in the thick of things. Kurt Signetti, I'm singing his praises as well, Bierman. That's my bold number one selection.
All right, guys, are you ready? I am going to the NFL for this season. My number one, I'm going to predict this year's Super Bowl champion. And I think you could have each a few guesses and you would not guess.
The Jags.
I hope you're sitting down with the Jags and taking notes. The Jacksonville Jaguars, baby, will be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Nice job.
Yeah.
First, guys, before I really get into this, I got to give first-year head coach Liam Cohen a lot of love. This team was horrible last year. They went 4-13. This franchise has not had double-digit wins since 2017. Liam Cohen comes in, and in year one, goes 13-4.
Is that like the Blake Bortles
wins an
era?
AFC South division title. I don't know. Was Bortles playing still back in
I think so.
2017? I
That
guess
sounds
so.
right.
Yeah, God, that's
That
scary.
can't be.
I mean, I don't know who the quarterback was. I mean, Mark Brunell could have played
go
better
Dogs.
than yeah. But God, Blake Bortles. There's no way Blake Bortles
I'm looking it up.
took them to the playoffs.
He
Cohen,
was their
guys, this year
quarterback in the
became
playoffs when they lost. I remember
It was
that.
Blake Bortles.
it
Nice
was Blake
call, Pat.
Bortles.
Blake
Wow.
Bortles.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, Cohen this year became the only first-year head coach in NFL history to win 12 plus games after taking over a team that had 4 or fewer wins in the prior season. I mean,
Wow.
that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I love what he's done with this team. Trevor Lawrence finally looks like the quarterback he was supposed to be. Travis Etienne, absolute stud. Also, not just in the NFL game, but for fantasy football. Believe me, I know, because I had him on a few of my teams. And guys, you may not believe me on this one, but the Jags defense is the number 1 rated defense against the run in all of the NFL. So you got these teams. I know you got some good passing teams, and their
Better
passing
than the
defense
Hawks?
isn't as good, but they're number 1 run defense in the NFL. Their pass defense, like I said, has some holes still, but this team's been going under the radar all year. There's no standout team in the AFC. The Broncos, the Patriots, the Bills scare me a little bit, and they
A
play
lot of
the
those
Bills
teams
this
rely
first
on the run
game,
too.
but exactly. Here's what's interesting. The Bills have the number 1 rushing offense. That's really where the
Wow.
Bills have been buttering their bread. But and so that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. But none of those teams, Broncos, Patriots, Bills, have been dominating. The Jags have won 8 in a row. 8 in a row, guys. They're at home against the Bills. Bills are a different team on the road. I think the Jags run D is going to frustrate Allen and the Bills. I see them being forced into some turnovers. Here's the other thing. The Jags force the second most interceptions in the league, and they have the second highest takeaway margin
behind the
in
Bears.
the league.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that's exactly right, behind the Bears. So I would have taken the Jags getting 1.5 as one of my Stone Cold locks, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise here. So just consider this a bonus Stone Cold lock.
I do. I just, Trevor,
give me Captain
T-Law,
Sunshine.
can you trust T-Law? Sometimes he makes the funniest mistakes.
Captain
and
Sunshine.
He's just such a goofy dude.
All right. Well, that wraps up. That was fun, guys. And I wrote them all down.
Did we do this? We didn't do this last year, huh?
No, we didn't. But next year, I will bring
up.
these out, and then we'll do it again next year. I love this.
Episode 134.
Last year. That's right.
Good math.
Will be.
All right. What do you got from a pool standpoint, Bill? Hey, I've been having a lot of people ask about the rank 12, Bill.
Yeah. Maybe I need to bring that back. I love that. Yeah, good call. Good call. Well, maybe we will. Maybe we will if we hear from people out there.
Guys,
maybe
flood Bill's email.
Flood the inbox with rank 12 requests. We have NFL playoffs, so go to the normal places, look for those, and then if you're interested in some of the other ones too, you can email me at bill@sandmansports.com. And then, Pat, you brought up Max Homa as one of your bold predictions. And right now, he is available. He's at $110 in the PGA Season Calcutta.
When does
that end? So if
end?
you love Max Homa, Wednesday the 15th. Okay. So not this week, but next week, the Sony Open kicks off the 26th PGA Tour season. And we have a few different golf offerings. As well. So we have the Pick'em, the Survivor, we have the Calcutta, and then the top 25. So a bunch of different price points and options for people. So lots of stuff happening.
I mean, and it's funny. This is at the end at Super Bowl. It's funny. Every year at the Super Bowl, I'm just like, I'm done with football. I'm ready to go to golf. The timing is perfect. And then they do the Phoenix Open. I don't know if they're doing it the same this year, where it's like you watch the Phoenix Open and then you watch the Super Bowl and then it's into golf season.
Yep. Oh, it's here. I can't wait for golf. I'm so excited.
I can't either.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. Well, gentlemen, great episode to help ring in the new year. Happy New Year to you both and all your loved ones. Here's hoping 2026 is another fun, great year for this podcast and for Sandman Sports and for both of you personally. Thank you to all of our listeners as well for always tuning in. Greatly appreciated. I know we all wish we could keep it going today, but sadly, it is time to exit Sandman Sports. Lots of awesome football in the next few days with the CFP semifinals, and NFL wildcard weekend. So enjoy all the games. Have a great weekend, Sandman Nation. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.